Dear listeners, here is your bonus for the week. An investigation into Dominique Okemba and his financial networks. This is a continuation of our analysis, presented in a factual and balanced tone. Dominique Okemba and BGFI, the financial secrets of the security boss. Ladies and gentlemen, loyal listeners of the African Community Radio LLC, welcome to this new episode of our investigation series. It's often said that power in Congo-Brazzaville relies on guns, on the raw strength of its security forces. This is a mistake, or at least an incomplete view. Because today, true power, the kind that buys loyalty, funds networks, and keeps a system going, is no longer measured in bullets, but in millions. It rests in bank accounts. Today, we're diving into the heart of a complex and murky system, a system that, according to many reports and journalistic investigations, was allegedly put together by one of Congo's most powerful men, Dominique Okemba, JDO. How did the regime's master spy, the head of the National Security Council, allegedly turn one of the region's largest banks, BGFI Bank Congo, into a secret vault? What recent audits and massive document leaks, especially the international investigation known as Congo Holdup, reveal is a financial and political earthquake. These documents, nearly 3.5 million files analyzed by a group of media and non-governmental organizations, reportedly show the outlines of a large-scale system of stealing money. A system where billions of CFA francs were allegedly taken from state coffers at the expense of the Congolese people. The main question of our investigation is this: can someone be both the guardian of national security and at the same time, potentially the one ordering financial flows so unclear that they threaten the very stability of the state they are supposed to protect? We will look at the role of BGFI, a key institution in the CMAC zone, and how its management, according to audit reports, allegedly had serious flaws. We'll talk about politically exposed persons, credit lines given without enough guarantees, and risks that were too concentrated, which should have alerted regulators. It's important to say this: the people and groups mentioned in this investigation are presumed innocent. Our work is based on public documents, audit reports, and thorough journalistic investigations done by respected colleagues. We will break down the alleged methods: shell companies, inflated invoices, sweetheart loans. These techniques, if proven, are typical patterns of money laundering and the misuse of public funds. What has been the impact of these practices on the Congolese economy? How have international organizations, like the IMF or global financial watchdogs, reacted? Today, thanks to months of work and the analysis of thousands of pages, the truth is coming out. Introduction. This is the hook of our investigation. The system. BGFI, a shadow bank? Dominique Okemba is not just a client. He is the key figure of influence at BGFI Congo. BGFI is no longer just a regular bank. It has become the tool for funding special operations. Audit reference. COMMUNAUTE reports have often pointed out concentrations of risk on politically exposed persons, PEPs, in Congo. At the heart of the revelations is a huge investigation that has become a key reference: the Congo Holdup affair. In 2021, a group of international media and non-governmental organizations, including Mediapart and Global Witness, published the findings from what is said to be the biggest data leak on the African continent. The investigation is based on looking at over 3.5 million secret bank documents, supposedly from BGFI Bank. According to those who conducted this investigation, these documents reportedly show how a complex system of stealing public money worked. They describe how millions of dollars, taken from the Congolese state's funds, allegedly passed through the bank's accounts. The methods used are said to be complicated, using shell companies, overvalued invoices, and transfers with unclear descriptions. The Congo Holdup investigation points to BGFI as the main financial platform for these alleged operations. It's important to note that these claims are based on documents that are not fully public, and the people and groups mentioned dispute these interpretations. Beyond this huge leak, internal audits and reports from COMMUNAUTE, the Central African Banking Commission, a body that oversees and regulates the banking and financial system in Cameroon, Central African Republic, Congo, Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, and Chad, reportedly show management practices that are considered very risky. This includes what has been called friendly loans. According to several audit reports mentioned in the press, credit lines worth billions of CFA francs were allegedly given to companies linked to politically exposed persons, some of whom are said to be close to Dominique Okemba. The main problem raised by the auditors is reportedly the almost complete lack of strong guarantees. A bank guarantee is something a borrower puts up, like a piece of property, to assure the bank that they will be paid back. Without it, the loan relies only on trust. These reports also reportedly show that covenants, which are rules that protect the lender by setting conditions for the borrower, were often weak or didn't exist. This concentration of risk on a small number of politically connected groups is a practice that bank regulators try very hard to avoid. One financial observer summed up the situation speaking anonymously. While the average Congolese person struggles for a small loan, the system allegedly allowed funds to be drained to finance private interests and strengthen political influence. This faulty management reportedly opened the door to suspicions of money laundering. International rules, especially Know Your Customer, KYC, and Anti-Money Laundering, AML rules, require banks to carefully check the identity of their customers and where their money comes from. However, journalistic investigations and audits suggest that these internal checks were allegedly deliberately weakened within BGFI Congo under the influence of its leadership. This lack of watchfulness, if proven, reportedly created a good environment for turning public funds, which might have come from illegal sources, into private assets, often placed abroad. The typical money laundering pattern then appears. The money is first layered, meaning it's moved through a series of complex transactions to hide its tracks. Then comes integration, where the funds are put back into the legal economy by buying luxury real estate, shares in companies, or other assets. This is how a banking system can, knowingly or unknowingly, become a key link in hiding money. Buying loyalty. Why was JDO so keen on the bank? Because in Congo, the loyalty of high-ranking officers is bought. BGFI was used to make it easier for senior officers to get loans, creating a chain of financial dependence on Dominique Okemba. The backlash, current audits and international pressure, IMF anti-money laundering agencies are pushing the government to let go of JDO to save the bank's license. Conclusion and opening. At the end of this analysis, a complex picture emerges. One of a system where the lines between state security, private interests, and international financial flows seem blurry. The BGFI Congo case, as described in many investigation reports, is not just the story of a bank. It is, according to these sources, a sign of a government where political power and economic power are mixed in a way that is not clear. We have looked at the alleged mechanisms, documented especially by the Congo hold-up investigation. Loans that were allegedly given without enough guarantees, risks concentrated on groups linked to politically exposed persons, and supposed failures to follow anti-money laundering rules. These claims, if proven, would paint a picture of bank management being used as a tool. Don't forget to subscribe to this Facebook page to follow us in real time. The summary is harsh. The alleged mismanagement at BGFI, under the influence of figures like Jean-Dominique Okemba, may not have been just a series of bad decisions. According to the analyses from the audits, it seems to be a method of governing, a tool to keep networks of influence and strengthen authority. But today, the numbers are stubborn, and the audits speak for themselves. The COBAC reports, civil society investigations like Global Witness, and the millions of Congo hold-up documents have brought to light what was hidden in the shadows. They demand accountability. It's important to remember the principle of presumed innocence for everyone mentioned here. The facts reported are based on documents and testimonies, and the final interpretation belongs to the justice system. Our job is to ask the questions that come from this public information. The discussion now is up to you. What do you think? Are banking governance reforms, often done because of pressure from international organizations, enough to ensure transparency? Will sacrificing one person, no matter how powerful, be enough to truly clean up the Congolese financial system and bring back trust? Or will the deep structures of power and money stay the same? Your opinion is very important. Leave your comments, join the discussion respectfully, and share this analysis so the conversation can continue. Because the health of an economy and the strength of a democracy also depend on its citizens being watchful. See you next Tuesday.